which one?
What do you think you need to get better on? Besides what I've said, you actually need to get better on. I know, but
I have no idea.
what maps did we play again?
Rialto, Helios, Busan, Havana, and Hanamura. If you want to see my brig play, then there's Havana.
Do you want to? Well, you're stuck on Brig the whole time. So, if you want to do more than Brig, then it's gonna have to be a map that's more than just Brig. You know. If you're fine with that, we can do that.
Well, I just feel like all the other ones were just like not me.
Okay, we can do the Havana then.
Cause like Busan, our tanks were just fucking feeding.
There's Zarya, yeah.
I felt like I actually did really good on that map, so I don't want to look at that one.
Okay, we can do what did I say? Havana. Yeah, just send me the code real quick, or just say it out loud.
It's J4S.
Wait. J4S what?
B78.
B78. Say it one more time.
J4S V78.
J4S V as in Victor.
Yeah.
V78. 78. There we go. Okay, I sent you the stream. Let me know when you're in.
Traveling to Havana. Ready for battle.
On my way.
Ready for battle.
Let me know when you're good. Nice, rocking the goat skin. I like it. Good start. Okay.
One. Attackers incoming. Escort the payload.
My shield's up.
I'm overloading.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the ball to the right.
Yeah, I did. I called it out to you.
Okay, then you want to look for whip shots because the faster you get Inspire up, the more healing you're going to be doing entirely. So if you see him on that right side, just throwing a whip shot at him just to get Inspire up is a good start. But you already did it with, regular swings.
Keep it covered.
If anything, I would try to hold this corner once the cart gets a little bit closer, just to be able to peek out or jiggle peek the corner to throw armor at our ball. Yep, I was gonna say when he's eating, go ahead and throw whip shot. Make sure you're taking a look at our widow to. Sorry. Make sure you're looking at our widow just in case, because that ball is gonna look for her every time. So constantly flicking back to her. So same thing with like Mercy. Normally when you play Mercy, at least what I've noticed is when you look around. When you're pocketing someone or either healing, you're looking around to see everyone else. Same thing for Brig. You're still swinging, but occasionally you're looking back at who you're pocketing just to keep the beam attached, but to also make sure they're okay, right? Same thing applies to Widow to a certain degree, especially in this comp like this. Didn't need to throw armor pack to the Torb. He was full health. Make sure you're landing those whip shots. And yeah, you. A little bit too aggressive. If anything, at this point, you want to just kind of stay a little bit behind cart. Unlucky on the shield bash, it's fine. Good. Good boop. Good whip shot. A little late on the bash. If anything, just whip shot him when he's doing the spin to win. Little known fact, I don't know if at least you know this, Brig can also trigger Inspire by hitting the mines. So, I don't think it does it for turrets, but... Yeah, unlucky. Positioning wise, you probably should have, as soon as they started to come out for contest, play at the back of the cart, kind of towards where I was, just to protect me from something like a ball coming in. Yeah. So you kind of got caught out in no man's land with the mines. Once he pops those mines, hit the whip shot and then start rotating to the right, not to the left. If anything, it's a natural habit for most people to just start kiting back towards their team instead of going towards the enemy, just because that, again, that is no man's land. At least for someone like Brig, it's no man's land. Good whip shot. I was about to say, good. When the bomb comes in like that, try to make sure you're trying to whip shot them towards it or doing any other kind of CC. So bomb comes in, let's say for like a Rhine, make sure you bash at the right time so bomb hits him and whoever's behind him. Whip shotting somebody in, like the Sig. So, good play from you though. Good. Once we're capping point and there's two people on cart, go ahead and push up next to the diva. You being there is gonna at least put pressure so that if they come start burning her down, hopefully your Inspire is up, you'll be able to heal her while she's there. She is half health, so kind of thinking about it. We have two people on cart. Where do you think you need it most? It's the person who's low on heals. So when I said, what is your job as Brig in that situation, when in-game, when you asked me that, at the moment it was being on cart, but for the most part, your job in this is to peel for me and stick by me, so just so if they were to switch to something like a Tracer, which eventually they do, that you'd be able to deter that Tracer, because as a Tracer, you're coming in, you see a juicy Zen, you're going to want to go after that Zen. If you see a Zen that has a bodyguard as a Brig, you're like, yeah, fuck no, I'm not dealing with that, right? Or if they do, you're there with armor packs, bashes, and whip shots. Normally, in this case, our ball really shouldn't be on payload too much. Okay, yep, use bash to get out. Okay, good, I was about to say, I do feel you, right?
No one can hide from my sight.
Fine, good try. Yeah, I throw a yep, I was about to say, throw a second one to her. That was a very dangerous rally just because at least personally, I knew there was mines behind you. You want to look to, of course, back out before that, but... Good. Don't whip shot Zarya bubbles when they're up. At least wait it out. Yeah, she dies here. Yeah, if she's low like that, just burn through her bubble. I think he could have got another swing onto the Moira before whip shotting her. Might have killed her. Good whip shot. Yeah, I was about to say, as soon as you hear that res going off, forget what you're doing. If you're close enough, try to go for the bash on that. Because if you stop that, that's a big play that you just made. Yeah, that was kind of unlucky. I don't really know what much else to say. We still capped the point though, just because they C9, I think.
Over here.
Yep. Make sure you're carrying your momentum if you're trying to get back the point like that. You know how you carry momentum, right? Or no? So, same thing as Lucio when I explained that jump towards the end of your rollout, or that bunny hop. Same thing applies to Brig or to Rhine, for example. You know how he pins and then if you hold X, same thing with Brig. You can do the same thing.
No, you can do that.
Yep. Good bash.
I'll take care of you. My ultimate is almost ready. I will shield you. I got you.
Good whip shot. Yeah, that's up to your diva to come to you, not you to go to them, so that was good. Yep, good. I was about to say, instantly pop rally. You want to get out of those mines so you're not getting hit by them, of course. Good, make sure you're shielding. I would, if anything, maybe even whip shot the bob back, just to bob back so you can get inspired from it, but... Again, push forward, Torben, fucking baller on cart. Well, at this point now you would stay back to cart, but... Yeah, you can't do anything here. Put your shield down. So, shield maintenance is pretty important for Brig. Originally she had that, what was it, like 750 HP shield. So, I mean, imagine that. I can't even fucking imagine that anymore. Ugh.
So,
Yeah, right? Thinking OG Brig. My god. She's broken as fuck.
miss her.
Yeah, right. So shield management for any character that really has a shield. So you're thinking your Rhine, your mainly your Rhine, your Sig, and Brig, for instance. For tanks, it's a lot easier to do. For Brig, it's kind of you really have to tiptoe on this line. So when I'm explaining this to like Tuss or Chew, whenever they're trying to maintain their shield health, since they have such a high health pool, they're allowed to body some of that poke damage instead of having their shield take it, so that kind of balances it out, right? If a good Rhine is going to make sure to, make sure he's taking some of that chip damage and not taking the big cooldowns and letting his shield take a cooldown. So you're thinking for like a soldier, right? You're blocking Helix Rocket, but for some of his primary that he's shooting, you're just going to tank that because you have such a large health pool. For Brig, it's the same way. So you're making sure that your shield's not constantly up. When you're behind this cart, you need to let it rest so it can recharge. You're not in any danger of the McCree hitting you with Deadeye, so you're fine here. But your shield's about to break, which also, if your shield breaks, that means you don't have Bash, which is one of your most important tools. So, anyway, for the shield management part, make sure you're trying to balance out a little bit. But again, you're a 200 HP hero with a little bit of armor, so you want to make sure that you're not overly abusing that. Again, you got to make sure you're hitting these whip shots, but that's good stun. Good boop. Good. I think you can afford to use whip shot a little bit more liberally. It's like what, a 4-second cooldown, I think.
Try to use it off cooldown.
Yeah.
I will prove myself.
Ready for battle.
Think you can keep up with me?
At least in this comp, using against what they have, using your whip shot isn't necessarily the biggest cooldown to use against them. But against something like a dive, you really want to try to be saving your whip shot, at least at the start of the fight, for when they start to engage on your backline. So if you're playing with the Ana, you're playing with the Zen, as soon as the dive comes in, you're looking for that whip shot onto the monkey that comes in, the ball when he's rolling through, the diva, that kind of thing. Yeah, we kind of get rolled this first part. Don't be up this close. You're just asking to be punished. Yeah, make sure you're watching this flank. Good whip shot. Yeah, unlucky. Yeah. Only thing I could say is that you were a little bit overextended, and once the flank came through with the hog and the ash, we were kind of blindsided to the left side, so making sure that you're not overextended that far, and being back so that you're kind of so like you know how you like see sometimes like these really high level Genjis, how they just automatically know where someone is after they dash through, so they're doing the ghost dash, right? Yes, no.
Yeah.
So when they're doing that ghost dash, they basically have a map in their head as to where everyone is once they're finished. They're doing the same thing. Same thing on support. You kind of have to know. For support, it's a little different because you have to know not only where your team is, but to a degree where your enemies are. So being that far forward, once you start kiting back, that flank that comes in from the hog and the ash, you're focused on them. So the whole time you don't know where the other four of their players are entirely because you're not looking at it. Does that make sense? So being that far forward, again, that's not a good thing and probably attributed to why we died there.
Yeah, it was cheeky, I think.
You can't say cheeky. If you're gonna say cheeky, you have to do it in the Tracer voice. Unlucky on the ball, but not your fault.
Yeah, he spammed for heals after.
Okay, as soon as the hog hook comes in, you should. As soon as you see that chain come out, even if it's not gonna confirm anything, whip shot it. So he at least gets knocked back. Hopefully the hook misses, or if he does land the hook, that could be a dangerous game if it hits someone. Either way, hook comes out. You're using either bash or whip shot to push him away, so he doesn't confirm the kill. But good whip shot. Just a little bit late. That's all I was trying to say. Yeah, be very careful with that Widow up. That you're not peeking her too much. Good. I was about to say, you played it right there. It was the Ryan's fault that he fed like that. Yeah, whip shot. Unlucky. Nice. I think you could have left the Bob where he was on that corner instead of whip-shotting him. You got to be careful, especially on these CC characters when you're on support, like Lucio, like Brig, that when you're booping him, you're not booping him in a better position. Arguably, where you just booped him is a better position because when he was sitting right here, he can't see anything, like to a degree, can't really see anything over here. He's just focused on what's on cart, what's to the left, and what's to the right. You pushing him over here gives him this LOS. But it does free up a little bit of space this way. But again, when people are coming back from spawn, the Bob can see them. So, I think where he was fine, so I wouldn't have worried about booping him. Again, make sure you're throwing this whip shot out. I wouldn't have whip shotted him there just because when the ball came in and he dropped mines, you want to save it till the mines are active before you do that, and then you throw him in there because it will kill him. It did kill him, but
It did knock him.
did it?
Yeah, it would kill him.
Okay, you did it right then. Never mind. I thought the mines weren't activated yet. Oh, okay. Make sure you're saving your stun for his take a breather, especially if he's that close. He had just used it prior, so it didn't really matter, but at the time you did it a little bit beforehand. Either when he's taking a breather or when he's about to throw his hook. Okay, you're a little bit too...
He wouldn't take it.
Yeah. So where you were at was a little bit is too aggressive there. You should have been back further. Once that ball dies, that's your kind of cue to back up because we're already down or we're down one person, and I think Tracer was on her way back. So you just need to be able to rotate fast enough. Without a Lucio, you're slow. I think you survived this, right? Yeah.
I'm ready to rally.
Good, using the corner peek. So when you're corner peeking like that, just to start getting that inspire going, peek around the corner, whip shot, and then go back. You had a chance to do it there. Oh, who is this Zen? His trance are fucking perfect. My God. Again, throwing this whip shot off cooldown. Make sure you're triggering inspire. Yeah, get in the thick of it. Good. A little bit of a mess up. That's fine. I don't know how that hog didn't kill you. Yeah, whip shot the hog. Good. So okay, so I would peek around this corner because the ball's gonna die here. He's discorded and he's already at half HP. He probably already used shield. Yep, he's dead. So even that would be just one play that, let's say if he had adaptive shields, that if you made that play, that could have meant the world because he doesn't die there. You know what I mean?
60 seconds.
So if you see that ball going that far ahead, it's your job as a support to say, okay, he's going in super aggro here. He really shouldn't be. And since, I mean, we weren't in comms, but that's your way of attempting to bail him out. If he says shit, you tried. Like, it was his fault for being that far ahead. I would peek over the ledge here to get an initial whip shot. Again, triggering inspire. Yeah, see, this whole time you're just kind of waiting here without doing it. Went in too early and went in too deep. At that point, let's rewind.
60 seconds remaining.
So again, like I said, when you're up here, hit the whip shot, you're triggering inspire. I think inspire lasts like 3 seconds. So even if you're just hitting it for that 1 second and then jumping down here, somebody that's like anywhere in green car or in this little circle is still going to get that inspire. At least a tiny bit of it. So again, you could have been triggering inspire here, throwing whip shot, throwing whip shot, throwing whip shot. But you went in a little bit too early. You shouldn't have to be the one to touch. I understand that isn't the case sometimes. But our ball is coming off respawn, so anytime that you're in here, you also want to check back to see if anyone's coming forward. Just because the cart is so close, or it is under, it might be capped. You want to be sure you're making it. You want to check that your tanks are coming forward, or if they're close enough that they're going to be able to touch. If they're not, then that's when you have to jump on cart. You jumping on cart here just kind of threw away your life. I don't think we clutched this fight out. But what you could have done, either rotating by car and just playing by this car, throwing whip shot when you can. At the hog's right here, he pushes you. You're dueling him. You have your shield. You should be able to block all of his cooldowns. But being this close, you're just asking to die here. Which you get discorded, you got hit in the head once before discord, dynamite, dead.
That wasn't the plan. Group up.
30 seconds remaining.
Good as new.
Okay, yep, flip shot, good. Good, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Every time you see the Widow, you want to make sure you're checking back on her. Unlucky. Yeah, I saw you went for the stun on the Moira. That was a good play, and that would have been huge if you hit that, but just so happens a little bit further out of range.
This is not the end of the world.
Brig is also not a sneaky hero, so there's been quite a couple times where you're just kind of walking up to someone and then pouncing. It's okay to just throw a whip shot out. Just like that's Brig's biggest thing is making sure your inspire is constantly up. You know.
Catching you up. Feeling better?
Whip shot. There you go. Good stun. Good.
I got you covered.
Okay, so here, not touching cart. They have a tracer now. I'm in danger much more than I was before. You need to be constantly sticking by me. If I don't hit these shots on the tracer, I'm fucked here. Which, luckily, obviously, the ball comes through to save me. And here, like, this is you tanking too much. Yes, Brig is built like a tank and has the abilities like a tank, but you want to kind of ebb and flow that, not just throw it out there. Good stun.
Let me touch that up. That could be better.
Don't be up far. Don't be up this far. You have to start kiting. Good whip shot. See, again, like I said, you want to be sticking by me at this point. I don't know why you didn't flux us. Didn't need to drop here. Okay, I called that the Sig was low. We probably could have killed him there, but... That was a dumb chance on their part.
This is not the end of the world. Group up with me.
Again, every time you come around a corner, no matter what character you're playing, make sure you check the corner, just in case. That's just kind of a thing you need, that you should start doing in any rank, any game. You know, I was even doing this in COD. Like, make sure you're checking every corner every time you come into a room. Even if, you know, 9 times out of 10 no one's there, you checking that corner is still good there. Yeah, you kind of had the touch point, but, well, yeah, I don't know. That was kind of iffy.
That Ryan did.
No, yeah, if the Ryan doesn't go in there, you don't need to jump down like that. Or at least if you do jump down, you're at least going to be supported more. So, yep, keep kiting this. Keep kiting this. Wait till you get a full 6, then push. Good whip shot. Yeah, okay, see, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Jiggle peeking the corner, throwing whip shot out, then going back. You're doing it perfect. Even if you don't need heals doing that, you don't know if somebody else will. That is basically that's basically Brig's way of healing poke damage.
60 seconds remaining.
Again, don't stand here. You just melted your shield for no reason.
Taking my medicine.
Alright, laugh. That stick fell off map.
Yeah, I don't know how he went sideways.
Because he banked off the wall. So, okay, even if you didn't know I was going to transfer that, your armor is not going to be enough to save that monkey with how low he is. This is more about the Brig Zen comp than it is, I guess, just for the character. Whenever a character is low like that in a Brig Zen comp, it's popping rally. It shouldn't really do much to save them, because if I didn't pop trance there, he would have died, most likely. Just because.
Well, I mean, usually I'll do it for like a tank that like can.
Is that
save,
is that in a Brig Zen comp, or is that in a Brig Ana comp, or a Brig Moira comp?
Well, okay, I mean like if Rhine is really low. I'll like rally, and if he has a shield, then I'll rally because I know he can like
Yes, but
put his
that's
shield up
different
and
with
save
Brig
himself,
Zen
and then
because
I don't know. I guess I
right.
assume a monkey can like shield dance until my rally kicks in.
Let's just back up a little bit. But that's different though because that's with other supports that have more healing than Zen does. Um,
Mm.
for the most part, yes, that same thing can happen. The tank can play it perfect. He can shield. He can start kiting. The Winston can bubble dance. Same thing. But you also have another support healing them compared to a Zen who's just going to throw Harmony Orb on them plus your rally. If they're focus firing it, that person's going to die, especially if they're that low. So like,
I'll take care of
okay. Yeah, see, Bubble even broke. So even if you had rally, he would have died, unless I trans. Because even your rally shouldn't be able to save this. Because you have not only the Zen being able to see him, you have the Sig that can see him, the Hog, the Moira. All four of them are going to be focusing down the monkey if he's that low. Rally's not going to do enough to save that. I mean, it's fine that happened, that you did this, just because it is a great learning experience for you, especially within this comp. But for the most part, if Rally isn't a bailout tool like Beat is, like Trance is, like Nano is, even Lamp to a degree. That's not a bailout ult. Rally is more sustained, like Mercy's ult, like Cole. Um, so don't use it for in that situation. Basically, good stun on the Hog. Whip shot, good. Yeah, okay, right here, right here. Do not back up. Your rally's still up. You're at 300. You have armor. Your tanks are going in. Keep going. You know, don't. Yeah, which you do. You just hesitate. Yep, bash. Don't know how you hit the Zen, but okay, that's fine. Whatever. Yep, you're playing this corner. Yeah, you're doing great with kiting it. If you see Bob, don't run into Bob.
That Bob ran me over.
Yeah.
this is all part of the learning process.
That's kind of fucking fragging on Zen. Alright. Do you feel a little bit better? Like I said, I thought you were playing fine on Brig for the most of the time. Things to work on would be making sure you're more aware of your surroundings. This applies to all supports. Making sure you know where people are, more specifically your team. Yeah, more specifically your team than enemy. If you can map out the enemy at the same time, do that. But on support, your job is to support your teammates, not kill. So you want to make sure you know where your team is. Again, make sure you're constantly using that whip shot to trigger inspire. When it comes to a dive, that's a bit different. You want to, like I said, I already explained that. Using rally to initiate and sustain, not to bail out, basically. Just make sure you're hitting your whip shots. You had quite a few that you missed, but again, that's just something small that will come with time once you have more hours on it, that kind of thing. I thought your armor pack usage was fine. I'd say you use it a little bit too much, like in...
On tanks.
No, not on tanks, but like there are some instances where you're just throwing it on someone to throw it at them. Old Brig, so like maybe a couple months ago before she got the nerf that armor doesn't stack, that would have been fine because you're overstacking. But since it doesn't stack anymore, you want to use that as somebody's at half their health, or a third, or not a third, they're at 3/4 of their health. then that's when you want to throw it. But when somebody's full health, don't throw a big crack at them. Just save it, even if you're not doing anything else in that moment. Yeah, I like Brig. I think she's an interesting character, just playstyle wise, just because you kind of have to balance in
Like,
between peeling for your Ana or your BAP or your Zen, but also trying to stick with your tanks. So
yeah, I feel like I don't really know when to play her.
if your backline's getting focused, uh, mainly that's the big thing is when your backline getting focused or uh, you're using it to focus down someone who's high mobility that you using your stun is going to stop them. So you're talking Doom, Genji, Ball, Tracer, that kind of thing, Sombra. Um, yeah, personally, I think the best comp that she fits into is going to be either, your Briggs ends or your bunker comps because Ryan, like I've talked about, needs a Lucio in order to survive, in order to do anything. For the most part. So some cases vary. So like Hanamura 2CP, that's a little bit different, especially on defense, not attack. Um, shit, what I was going somewhere with this. I think I lost it. What was I talking about? When to play Brig. Yeah, so... Yeah, right. So, Ryan, for the most part, needs a Lucio in order to play. Bunker, on the other hand, doesn't necessarily need that. So, best places to play her would be in the bunker comp with hopefully a BAP, or if you have an Ana, that's fine. Or if your backline is getting dove really hard, that's another reason why. Basically, Brig is just a fucking bodyguard for the most part. So, treat her as such.
Can you?
Yeah.
Are you going to bed or something?
I don't have to if you want to look at something else.
Yeah, can you get Busan
Sure.
from the scrim? I played Mercy and Lucio.
Now traveling.
You already have that covered, right? Yeah, you do.
Ready.
I'm like kind of falling asleep, but it's fine.
If you want, we can do this tomorrow.
3, 2,
And do you have to work tomorrow?
Yep.
1. Round 1.
And what, you're an hour behind your CST, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 2 a.m.
Yep.
Get up at 8. It's fine.
So you're doing fine right here. You're just pocketing the Ash. Yep. Okay, you don't need to be poking into this, especially for this comp. The place where you're needed most is either damage boosting Chase or you're sticking close enough to Laz that you'll be able to fly to him when he needs help. So. The only reason why you should be pocketing Sunless is if Chase is dead. That's in my personal opinion.
I like to damage boost echoes when they use the beam.
When they use what? Beam? Yeah.
Yep.
But still, I think Chase just has one shot potential compared to Sunless, which or whoever's the Echo, which will take more than just a one shot. So you need to be kiting this. You see them already moving. Chase is doing the right thing and backing up because he's a prime dive target along with Laz. You want to be going that way as well.
Enemies in our
system turned off? Doing good. Yep, make sure you're sticking with him.
Damage increase. Let's get you back out.
Okay. Oh wait, no, this isn't the moment. Actually, now it is. Yeah. Unlucky. You couldn't have peeled fast enough, most likely for him.
Healing stream engaged. Everybody come over here. Let me get you patched up. Just point me in the right direction.
Observe the barrel.
Yep, good. Make sure you're pocketing him once you get stove. Okay.
Valkyrie to save my life.
Say that again.
I Valkyrie to save my life.
Yeah. We'll go back and rewatch this just so I can explain some things.
Let me get you patched up.
So when you go in for this guardian angel, I know you were trying to save Chu in a sense by getting closer to him. You didn't need to get that close, and even if you're going, and if you're trying to get closer, make sure you're canceling your guardian angel so that you stop right where the camera is now, instead of going even further. Going for this, I wouldn't have gone for this res because as soon as they hear the res animation, they're going to be coming at you. So this is a very, very risky res here, and it burns it.
Yeah, I mean, my thought process. I had fucking Diva in front of me.
Right, and
That
also
could be anything.
sure. Also, I don't think you needed to pop Valkyrie. You could have flew through the window. I think. I don't think you would have died here at least, but I mean I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Let me get you patched up.
So when in that specific instance, you should have damage boosted Sunless so he could try to break barrier. If he breaks barrier, that Diva gets demeched.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Wrecking ball.
Slow it down. Oh.
Again, you don't need to be damage boosting Chu. Stick on Chase or Sunless. Yeah, don't just stick on Chase.
Ready for battle.
Sure, just flew into that.
Probably.
Don't stop now.
Yeah, as soon as you hear that Tracer coming up, make sure you stick close to Laz, but you want to push up. Now that he has Chu, for the most part, he shouldn't need your pocket. Chase will need it more. So, do you play music while you scrim or play in comp? Okay, good. Personally, I don't think music is good when playing, just because.
I've tried it. I literally can't focus at all.
Yeah, I can't focus and I can't hear small stuff like hearing those Tracer's footsteps. Yep, this is fine, this is fine. Okay, now I would stop just to let Laz heal the rest. So, for the most part, in this, with a Zen Mercy, you're the bulk heals, obviously just because Laz can't heal enough unless he has trance.
Yeah.
So you're doing the bulk of the heal. So when somebody's critical, that's when you're healing them. For chip damage, that's basically just Laz. I mean, you do agree to a degree if you can, but for the most part, you want to. The most optimal time Mercy can spend would be when she's damage boosting. I'm fine with the res. That was fine.
What is power?
Good. Make sure you're not standing still. Don't walk back and forth. Make sure you're AD strafing.
Lifting off.
Because they do swap out onto this Widow,
Damage
so.
increased. Spotted them. Your support was allowed. Healing field engaged. Heroes never die.
As soon as Sunless dies, I would have popped Valk. I think you popped it a little bit too late because that was very dangerous in the sense that if that ball had just a shred more aim, or if somebody else was helping him, you would have died. Be very careful around rezzing around the brig.
Yeah, I heard her spin over.
Okay. Even if she still has whip shot in order to deny res.
You should be at peak performance levels. Adaptive circuits engaged. Senor.
So this is one thing that you do when the fight is kind of over. You just kind of switch around. You kind of fly all over the place and heal or damage boost whoever. In that one instance where they're going to be able to touch, you want to stick with the person that you're going to be damage boosting the most in a regular fight. So make sure you're sticking with Chase almost all the time. Yes, even though they didn't touch, that was it. You know, you did that and nothing came of it. But let's say if that ball had spawned a second earlier or had a rollout that was a second faster, he would have been able to touch.
Ready for battle.
You know,
4, 3, 2, 1. Round 3. Capture the objective.
This is my jam.
Roll out.
And then you hit your head on the door.
Well, work on it. It was better than it's been. Okay, I
Yeah,
got
I know.
stuck.
I heard.
Like,
Okay, Sunless was gonna die there. The Moira was one. You should have beelined it for the Moira, not to try to heal for Sunless. I think, yeah, you could DMAC the Diva. You're lucky Chu got a bubble for you. I remember the bubble because it was such a fat bubble. Good boop. Good boop on the Rhyme. Make sure you're booping them into your team. Good boop on the Lucio and the May.
fucking stood in off.
Good. You played that. Honestly, that was pitch perfect to a degree. Lucio play. If anything, hit your shots more.
Yeah. I'm still getting used to my new sense.
Yep.
Over
Good boop. Especially if he's going for a play like that. If the Rhine had pinned behind him, we might not have had good enough follow-up. That was a great play from you by booping him to the side. Because not only does it give us time to burn him if needed, but it also reduces a play to come out of him in order to pin Tusk into no man's land. Keep it on heals, keep it on heals. We're low here.
Oh yeah, I think I thought I was on heels.
Okay, again, make sure you're jiggle peeking. A better team, or a better May, a better McCree. This doorway, their only focus is shooting through this bitch. If you're standing here, you're gonna get hit in the head. Most likely. Especially if you don't have a shield in front of you. Making sure that you're shooting your volley, backing. Shooting your volley, backing. Even though that's like... even though you're gonna shoot less, you're gonna be safer while doing it. they oh, fuck. Okay. They haven't used Shatter at all. So you need to position yourself better so that if Tusk doesn't block it, you're not going to get hit, or it's less likely of a chance that you're not going to get hit. This is where alt tracking comes into play. And as a main support, you need to be doing this. Like, this is a crucial thing that you need to be doing because you have defensive alts. Specifically because you're on Lucio and you have a defensive alt. You need to be keeping track of these alts to know when something comes out. You're like, okay, I have beat for this. I don't have beat for this. You know, they're coming out with Shatter. They're coming out with Blizzard. Guys, we need to either, you know... I can't get caught by this either to get beaten mid-fight, or Laz can't get caught by this because he has Ko, and he's the only one that can really bail us out. Good, you use speed to try to back everyone out. Good boop on the D.Va. Keep it on heals. Good amp. Keep it on heals. I'm okay with the beat. That was a tempo beat, and although they have 2 down, we are pretty low, and they did just use the alts that we would have needed to use beat for. So, in this against them, you're looking to beat their Blizzard. You're looking to beat their Shatter.
Yep.
Good. Yeah, I thought you played that perfect. There will be circumstances where... So, I remember specifically to a VOD review that I did a couple weeks ago, that we were always saving beat for when they had Grav. But we could have won so many fights if we had used beat in a situation. There will be times where you just have to get this sense that you need to do beat. You need to do beat. You need to pop beat because it'll turn the fight. You know, it. Not only is it giving you guys overshield, but that's your go button to be more aggressive because you have that overshield. So you're just going to have to get that, you know, sixth sense of when you need to pop beat early, even if they have grab. Yes, you're going to lose it, but for some reason we made mistakes in order for that to happen. Do you know what I mean? So, like, either we're taking too much poke, we're not utilizing map geometry, they use an alt that is a really good alt and it catches us off, or kind of thing. Sometimes you're just going to have to use beat in other circumstances, even though you're saving it for something, you know? Too aggressive here. Although if you had gotten caught in that flash, you probably could have died, or would have died. Okay, you did the right thing here. Laz and Chu did not. You stuck with Ryan, what you were supposed to do. We're almost about the cap. You played this fine. It was not really up to us. If anything, be higher on the wall so you don't get hit by the Rhine swing.
Time to accelerate.
Just give me 1 second, sorry. Good, you're using amp when we co. Good boop on the Lucio towards our team. Unlucky we couldn't capitalize. Yep, good. Make sure you're sticking it on speed. So, okay, so After like the initial 2-ish seconds that Blizzard is out, you're able, any character, you're able to walk in it and not get fully frozen. You probably could have came, so let's just rewind so I can explain a little bit better.
Yeah, I should have like went through it to heal him.
Right. Or not just to heal him, but you had your boop off cooldown that you could have
Yeah.
jumped across, done a rollout across just to boop the melee.
Yeah, I noticed that after he died, I was like, oh,
So like I said,
I
good
should've
good
gone
boop onto
sooner.
the Lucio. Good, good, good. You wait outside of it, you wait outside of it. Now you go. When Blizzard's almost done, you're not gonna get frozen. Which you're a second off and they pop Ko in order to burn him. Yeah, you just need to speed creep to the rest of your team. Yep, this is fine. Yeah, no, this isn't the one where you get caught. Nice. Nice. When you shoot with Lucio, do you feather your trigger or do you just hold it down?
Tap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Honestly, I feel like personally that hurts my finger when I do it. So I don't know if it'll change for you,
Ugh.
but I just hold it down.
that fucking.
Yeah,
I
it
got hit
was.
by a fire strike and a thing.
Only way to avoid that, I mean, is to be either higher or making sure you're on speed to get past it faster. But yeah, if you
I'm
don't
pretty
die, we
sure
probably
if I
win this.
didn't,
Yep.
yeah, if I didn't die there, we win. I was very
Uh,
upset.
yes, but it's not only your fault. It's to a degree the entire team's fault as well, just because we
And
had
I could have
the
saved the tanks.
tools to be able to stall this out longer, and we just didn't. We just kind of panicked and threw our ult at the wall and said, "Let's hope this sticks."
I just feel like if I was there, I could have hurt.
So as soon as you come back to point, you should have beat. Probably, just it might have been able to save Sunless's life. I'm not sure, but yeah, don't get hit by pin, forehead.
I feel like it pinned me like very fast. Like as soon as I heard the fucking.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Damn.
Do you feel a little bit better?
No. I feel like I played really well in that scrim,
You did.
or at least that map.
Yes, you did.
So like, it doesn't make me feel better because I still don't know why I'm losing.
Like I said, there will be some factors that you just can't control in comp. It's bound to happen.
Isn't it?
But that
Yeah,
is
but
not.
it's supposed to be. What was it? It's like a third of your games you can't win, a third of your games you can't lose, and then a third of your games like is up to you. But I just feel like the 2/3 of them I can't win, and then the other third is like.
You
Up
can,
to
and
me.
most of the games that we played tonight, I think for the most part, were either we will win or we're close. I'm
Just tired of losing.
I get it, and like I said, you're gonna need to figure out why you're losing and make adaptations mid-map. And once you start doing that, you will climb. It's just a matter of understanding what swaps need to be made. That's the biggest thing. Once you start learning that, once you start getting that down, it'll come. But mechanically, I think you're at a point where it's not necessarily your mechanics that are holding you back. It's more of how you think that's holding you back. Or, yeah, all of it can just be kind of chalked up to how you think. Once you get that figured out, SR will come naturally.
Do you think I should solo queue?
Either solo or duo. Personally, I feel like that's the best way to feel like I've earned my SR, but also keeping it kind of fun. You know?
Yeah, I fucking hate solo queuing.
Yeah. I don't like stacking much anymore unless it's on like an off roll. But if it's duos, that's fine.
I also solo queuing in Diamond is painful. Like, especially now that I've played in high games, just seeing everything my team is doing wrong is so frustrating because I can't do anything about it because I'm just on support. Hello?
Hi, yeah, I was answering something. But you can change stuff. Like I said, you're either changing to counter or you're
you know what
changing
I mean,
to
though.
enable your people. Again, like I said, what holds you back is how you think of the game. That is what's holding you back. Once you start to figure that out, like I said, your SR will come.
I just feel like the way I started off the season was not any different than how it was last season. So, like, what the fuck changed?
Would you like my honest opinion?
Sure.
Last season, I felt like you got a bit carried.
How?
Who were you queuing with?
I queued with Ian until 3,500, and then I solo queued.
Okay, but not all of those were just by yourself. I'd say at least whenever I was on and who was in a group, it was usually you with Gek or you with Sunless, you with Chase, you with Les.
No. Oh my god. Bro, Ian is the one that fucking queued with Chase all the time. That was why I was so fucking mad at him. Because he stopped queuing with me and he only queued with Chase. And then he told me, like, oh, I just like solo queuing now. And then he was always with Chase. And then when one of them hit 39 and I was like, hey, wanna queue? They were like, sorry, we can only duo. And I had to solo queue. And I was fucking miserable because I hated solo queuing. I solo queued to 39.
Okay. Then, I don't know. Could be meta. Things were different. Patch was different. You were able to play a certain way. People weren't as dumb. I don't know.
I don't know either. But I can promise I solo queued to
Okay.
High
Okay.
Masters.
Okay. Okay.
Me and Ian duoed to Masters, and then he
Gotcha.
abandoned me, I guess. I don't know.
When I hit GM on tank, I can honestly say I hit GM on tank because of the meta. That is biggest reason why I hit GM.
Yeah, but I don't even know what the fuck the meta is right now.
Ball, Sig, Mercy, Briggs, and Bap. And then Ash, Echo,
I just feel like
Tracer,
the
Hanzo.
meta this season is very, like, it doesn't matter as much. Like, people can just play
Okay, it doesn't matter because
whatever.
it doesn't matter below GM. Meta doesn't matter.
Guess.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. Because if you want to...
How am I supposed to play the meta?
Exactly. Comp is a joke.
Ugh.
Because nobody wants to play the meta heroes at all times. Nobody wants to play fucking Sig at all times. Nobody wants to play Ball at all times. Nobody wants to play Mercy at all times. And some people will think, okay, this person's good on this map, yet there's another meta hero that is better on that map. Mainly I'm thinking like something like Brig over Mercy, or Orisa over Ball. That kind of thing.
Ugh.
You will climb. It is bound to happen. You just need to start changing your thinking of the game. Because it's not your mechanics. You've gotten this high because of your mechanics. Now you need to work on how you think about the game.
I guess. That's still kind of vague. I don't really know.
It is.
Like...
It's... comes down more to... And I can't explain it more than giving a handful of things that it makes sense for. Like, knowing your character's role within a comp. Knowing how to counter comp them. Knowing how to enable your DPS and your tanks or your other support. That kind of thing. Like, those are just some examples.
What should I do
but
to work on that then?
critically think. Look back through your games. See, okay, what was the problem? What was the biggest problem? How could I have swapped my hero to counter that? How could I have swapped my hero to enable someone to counter that?
Do you think that I should look at every game as to what I could change, even if it's like
Yes.
clearly someone else's fault?
Yes. Because you're not going to be able to change them.
What do I do if I feel like I played my absolute best?
Then you played your absolute best, and you couldn't have changed anything that you could have. When it comes to comp, that's the mindset that just has to happen. You can't control anything else but yourself, and you're just gonna, even if it's like a weird fucking comp, sometimes you're just gonna have to switch to a weird fucking comp just to enable somebody instead of feeding, instead of them not popping off because they just need that much little more damage boost in order to pop off. That kind of thing. At least for ranked. For team setting, it's a little bit different, but...
Yeah.